All right, grown-ups, it's just our time. I love the babies, but to help you, I gotta speak my mind. This segment's here to help you grow with book reviews, lessons, and things you'll be glad to know. If your little one's restless or looking to play, send them to my other playlist. The read-alouds there will brighten their day. Hey, welcome back to Behind the Book, where we go beyond the pages to get to the heart of the story. I'm Erica M. Burrell, the teacher lady, your fairy godparent when it comes to sharing joyful stories and growing young minds. Now, all this week, we will be covering the topic of food. Where does food come from, and how do you better educate your children so that they are aware of the choices that they're making, and more than anything, so that they know what's on their plate? So often, our babies don't know where their food comes from. We just give it to them and they eat it. And the point of this week is to give you tools and resources to be able to combat that. Today we have a behind the book review of, drumroll please, I Don't Eat That, which is a children's book about food, and it is written and illustrated by me. On this episode, you will hear about the glows, what I think was done well, the grows, what I think could have been done better, who this book is for, how to use it as a resource to have more robust conversations with your little, and so much more. All of this segment of Behind the Book, where we go beyond the pages to get to the heart of the story. You ready? Let's grow. Summary in my own words. I Don't Eat That is a story about food origins. Now, the story is done by the lens point of a student who is vegan, but the core of the story is a better understanding of where our food comes from. This includes meat. This includes vegetables and fruits. It is really about food education. The take-home message is that everything that we eat has an origin story. And so often we'll call something ham or prosciutto or bacon and not understand that it's pork. There are so many students, and honestly adults, who do not know what it is that they're eating. They just eat it. When you think about how most of us are raised, typically food was put in front of us. We knew the name of the food. We might have prayed over it or talked as a family, and then we ate and went on about our day. But very rarely is it explained to children what it is that they are consuming. And even less rarely than that, does that child get to go on a journey of how the strawberry got from the farm to their plate. And so the target message of this book is truly to start to analyze what it is you're eating. How did it get there? Who do you have to thank for it? And that list continues. In terms of target age group, 5 and up is definitely on brand and on point with this book. Most of my books are around that age. I would say that children 4 years old could definitely start to understand just the simple concepts of cows being beef, seafood being fish and crab, because the images are so literal and vibrant. Younger children will start to understand those concepts, but to really hold a conversation, I would put it at 5 years old and up. As always with this section, I try to remain as impartial as possible. This book is my own. It is one of 9 books that I have created. One of the clothes that I really appreciate about this book is the educational element. I am an educator. I work with other educators, and having a book that is based in teaching something is really special and really beautiful. Another glow I would say is the diversity of the book. You have the lunch lady, you have Elodie, you have George, you have all these different characters. And even in the back of the book, when Mrs. Burrell is explaining that the way that we eat is part of our culture, you see these different images of people from different cultures. And so I really appreciate the diversity that is brought into this book. So many different people being shown, and really normalizing that we're all learning how to eat and we're all learning where food comes from. The dialogue wasn't based on one student. It was really a classroom conversation. And so for me, that was a glow, because it wasn't like this student doesn't know and they need to learn. It was truly like, as a community, we really don't know what it is that we're eating. Let's do better getting those messages out, and so that children have an understanding of what it is that's on their plate. And the last glow is definitely the images. I would say that it takes me a considerable amount of time to do my images, and these really, really popped for me. I love that the imagery really told the story for my English language learners. The photos really do a great job at explaining what's going on, and I love that. And I also really love the glossary in the back, which both has the photo from the story so that the child can reference, as well as the words and the definition. So just the thoughtfulness that really went into the story, I think, is pretty cool. One of the areas of growth with this book, it really was not my intention to try to convert anybody to veganism. I believe if you're vegan, that's beautiful. I believe if you eat meat, that's okay too. I think when some people read this story, they take away the message that I am encouraging you to be vegan, and that is not true. And so one of the areas of growth would be to clarify that I am using the character from this story as a almost like guide to teach other children about where their food comes from, but I am in no way trying to encourage or convince children to not eat meat. I believe that that is up to your family, what works best for your body, and culturally speaking, what makes sense for you. If in your culture you eat something that might be different to the other communities or to other countries, that should be encouraged, that should be loved, that should be celebrated, and that should be kept within your family's line. So I am in no way trying to discourage people from eating anything. I'm trying to get children to understand where their food comes from. And this comes by way of experience. I have taught children in second grade, I've taught children in third grade who have no idea fish sticks are fish. They have no idea chicken wings are chickens, ham is pork. They have no idea, literally not understanding just the basics of what it is that we're eating is what inspired this book. After teaching so many different babies, even from different classes, children from lower income communities and even children from affluent communities still struggled to have an understanding of where it is that their food was coming from. That was really the point of the story. The main character was encouraged by my daughter. My daughter does not eat meat or dairy due to how her body responds to it. And oftentimes she will feel left out and she will feel like I'm the only one who eats this way. I was thinking about children who might have an alternate diet, either an allergy or just a very specific way that they eat, and how other children respond to that. And this book was also used to combat that. Another grow is the story felt a little short for me, even bringing in her family more to the forefront of like as a family and as a community unit. What do you all do or how do you all eat? I think would have been really beautiful. All in all, I still feel like I did my big one. I still feel like it's an amazing book, and I still feel like you should go get it. How to use this book as a resource. I would utilize this book to really talk about how we get food. And so even using it as this resource to take your child through the grocery store, right? When you think about a pack of meat, somebody started with the animal, cut it up, went through that process. Somebody came and placed it in the proper section of the grocery store, and then you rung it up, and then you clean it and you cook it. And so really utilizing this book as a discussion to go through the process of food. You can do the same thing with a strawberry. You go to a farmer's market, you get strawberries. What farm did this come from? How long did it take for them to grow it? Who picked it? How did it get to this grocery store? So on and so forth. And so really, I feel like the strongest use of this book is experience. And as you sit down for dinner having those conversations, and as you take your child to the grocery store, to farmer's market, taking them through this journey of food has so much power and so much importance. Who this book is for and who should add it to their library. This book is truly for anybody, whether you're old or whether you're young, who does not understand where their food comes from. If you were never taught where your food comes from, this book isn't based in like nutrition or like what's good for you and what's not, but it really is meant for those who have never had the prior experience or knowledge of just food origins. I think this book makes a really beautiful gift for people who are familiar with where food comes from. So your gardeners, community grocery store workers, classroom teachers, so on and so forth. But really, when you think about who this book would be good for and who should add it to their library, it's either people who don't know, who need the information, or people who do know, who would just get a kick out of the overall story. I also think it is special for people who are vegan. You know, children who are vegan, children who have a specific allergy or a food group that they cannot partake in. I think that this book is a resource to have them be able to see themselves and normalize that we all eat differently. I am so excited about where this channel is heading. Thank you for checking out this Behind the Book review. On Friday, we will have our Teacher Lady Speaks episode, which is a crash course or professional development in teaching your children about food and food origins. And I'm so excited for that. On Monday, we had 2 read aloud, so go check those out. Every week, a new topic. Every week, something for us to learn together. Please subscribe to the newsletter. Please share this channel with your friends, with your colleagues. Let's really get the word out. I'm so glad to be growing with you all. If you have not heard of the Pay It Forward initiative, that program is based around a goal of getting children the books that they deserve at no cost to them. So it truly is a simple Pay It Forward program. You buy books, they go to children who need them. If you're an educator who services children in low-income communities, there's also a form there for you to be able to fill out to be able to receive books. Let's keep it going. Check out my other books. Check out the rest of the Teacher Lady Speaks channel. There's so much to learn, so much to grow. And as always, I hope you enjoy the moment or go be a joy in the moment. Bye.